Hey everybody, welcome back to the YDF Live show. My name is Stephen Aitchison. Glad to be back. I'm the creator of YourDigitalFormula.com, a program to help you grow your audience, share your message and transform your business. So today I want to speak about the 4 days of an online business, and this was I'm talking about a post I wrote yesterday on my own profile page on Facebook, and I was just thinking about the year and going over the year and looking at it and thinking about the emotions I've felt over the year as well, over 2016, and particularly with online business. And I thought the emotions go up and down when you've got an online business. Some days you think I'm good enough, other days you think I'm just shite, I just don't know what I'm doing, and other days you go, oh, this is freaking amazing, it's just everything's going so well. And then there's days where you just go, this is good. This is just as good. I'm good enough. So I wanted to go over the 4 days of business. That's what I wanted to discuss today and get your feedback on that as well. So if you've got an online business, like most of the YDF tribe have at YourDigitalFormula.com, most of them have got some form of online business or in the process of getting an online business up and running. I want to run by something by you as well at the end of this. So the first day is the down days. You know those days we get where we just think somebody's going to find me out, somebody's going to realise that what I'm talking about is just not good enough, I'm just talking shite, or you just feel that everything you're doing, you're just going to, I just don't know, I don't know what I'm doing and I just don't know where I'm going. And you get those days like that, and that's a down day for me. And I've felt like that over the year. Over the course of 2016, I've felt I haven't a clue what I'm doing. And you feel like you're going to be found out. It's that imposter syndrome that was spoken about before, where you just think, what am I talking about? Is it good enough to help people? And that's ultimately what we want to do. We want to help people. That's what makes, well, certainly for me, it makes me feel better about what I'm doing. If I'm helping somebody grow their business or do something they couldn't do before with my coaching or just doing the Facebook Lives or something, if it's helping, then I'm happy about it. That's my whole purpose in life, I suppose, in my business life. It's about helping other people get what they want. Because when you can help other people get what they want, that's when you ultimately get what you want. But the first thing you think about is really helping other people. So that's the down days. And the down days just make you feel like shit and you just go, why am I doing this? What's going on? Has anybody ever felt like that? You get one of those down days and you just go, I just don't know what I'm doing here, or don't know what I'm talking about, or people are going to think I'm talking a lot of crap. Stephen Webb is saying, haha, yes. So I'm just wondering if anybody feels like that as well, because I'm guessing if you've got an online business of any kind, you feel like that as well. So give me a few thumbs up if you felt like that just now. Just let me see the thumbs up if you've ever felt like that. And I apologise, my comments are sticking. I don't know why they're sticking, but my comments are sticking just now. So give me a few thumbs up if you've ever felt the down days in your business. Maria Flynn, I see wee thumbs up from Maria. And it's Stephen Webb as well, flashing across. Excellent, and a few others as well. I can't see the wee faces there. That's it. So you know what I'm talking about here. And hopefully the down days, there's only a few down days within a year. And if you're just starting out, you might get a lot of those down days where you just go, just having a clue what I'm doing, why am I doing this? You might get a lot of those down days in your first year of business, then your second year you know what you're doing, your third year. And this is my 10th year and I still get those down days, but very, very few and far between. Melissa Crispell is saying, I have those days. And Cindy Mosgrove is saying, yes, I have those days as well. I have a lot of down days, Maria Flynn is saying. Now, see, that's hard to believe when you see somebody you think they've got the shit together and they still say, yep, I get those down days where I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing or if people think I'm going to be talking a lot of crap or not. And when you see somebody like Maria Flynn saying, I've got those down days, it makes you realise that everybody gets those down days. So it's a good thing as well, just to know that you're not alone. Right, the good days. This is the second type of day, the good days. And this is when you keep doing what you love. You do it because you love doing it and you just love everything about what you're doing. Like I'm doing this kind of the Facebook pages, I do the websites, I do the webinars, everything in my business. I do it because I totally love it. And if I wasn't getting paid for it, I'd still be doing it. And for years, I wasn't getting paid for it, but I was still doing everything. I was growing the blog, I was growing the Facebook page, I was doing the kind of Instagram, YouTube, I was doing all the videos, not getting a penny in return. And because what I was doing just kind of wasn't working. It's only when you get into what I would call the click. So you're kind of traveling along, nothing's really working, and then suddenly something clicks and you're on the right path and you're off and running. And that's what's happened to me over the last couple of years. I've just got into that click and it's just a brilliant space to be in. But I would still be doing this if I wasn't making any money in the business. I'd be trying to figure out ways to make money and help people at the same time. So that is the good days that you get. So give me a few hearts if you've had the good days where you just love what you're doing. You might not be getting a lot of money for it, but you still love it and you do it and you're going to do it anyway. Let me see a few hearts if you have those days as well. I'm just going to click back and forth between the video and the comments. Maria Layton is saying hi, Stephen. Hi to you, Maria. Welcome to the show. Maria Flynn, yeah, I love what I'm doing so much, and that's what helps me get through the down days. Brilliant. Love that. Kathy Baker, I see the kind of love hearts there. Excellent. So you understand what I'm talking about. Maria Flynn as well. Kathy has lots of love hearts flying across. So you understand what I'm talking about with the good days as well. Magella Carney, you're very good at what you do. So gifted. Oh, thank you very much, Magella. I really appreciate you saying that. Okay, so the third type of day is the freaking brilliant days. This is where you get a validation for what you're doing, and somebody writes to you and say, you have changed the way I view the world, or you have changed my business life, or you've changed me in some way. And that's the days where you get validation for what you're doing is right. It's the right thing you're doing, and you just kind of love everything about it. And people are writing to you on a regular basis just to say, you have changed my life so much. Even if it's with an ebook, if it's with a Facebook live show, if it's with a Facebook post, I get so many kind of messages on my Facebook page, particularly on the CYT page, saying, you don't know how much your quotes mean to me. And when I first started out, I thought, writing quotes is not really going to change people, so I'll have to do something else like the videos and the Facebook live show. But so many people love the quotes that I write as well, and I get loads of messages saying it's just changed my thinking, it helped me change my direction in life. And I mean literally hundreds of messages, and you just go, it's all worth it. This is freaking brilliant. I just love these days when I get these messages, and it's great to get that validation. So again, give me a few thumbs up if you've had messages saying what you're doing is great. What you're doing is changing people's lives. And if you've had messages like that, and you will get them if you've not had them yet, you trust me, you will get them. Because people are going to be on the same wavelength as you, and they're going to feel what you feel, and that comes across in all your messages, in your emails, in your kind of Facebook live shows, in your videos, anything that you do, it will come across. So give me a few thumbs up if you get kind of validation emails, or you're starting to get validation emails as well. Or not emails, or validation messages from the likes of Facebook, or comments on your Facebook posts, etc. So I'm just going to go back and forth again because the comments are still sticking. We've got a few more people coming in. Yeah, we're getting a lot of thumbs up. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Stephen Webb, I see, and I can understand, Stephen Webb, I've seen your live shows, I've seen your videos as well. Absolutely amazing, so I can understand why you get a lot of validation kind of messages. Kathy Baker, I've seen there as well. Maria Flynn, excellent. Excellent. So a lot of you get that as well. And that's kind of, it's not what makes it all worthwhile, but it just kind of validates that what you're doing, you're on the right path, which is a brilliant, brilliant feeling. I'm just going to read out a comment here. Claudia Demoro, ironically, I can say the same thing about those days that click. They inspire me and push me to forge ahead with the inspired ideas I didn't feel good enough to implement in the first place. And then I end up being so glad I did. Excellent. I love that, Claudia. Love that. Kathy Baker, totally love being in the zone. That's what it is. It's being in your zone of genius. So when you're in your zone of genius, if your zone of genius is kind of making websites, or if your zone of genius is making up image quotes or writing quotes or doing videos, if that's your zone of genius, you just kind of lose all track of time. You know that kind of place where, there's somebody at the door. You know that kind of place where, what was I saying? What was I thinking? I'm coming back. It's coming back. 1 wee sec. Right, so I was talking about the zone of genius. That kind of doorbell put me up there. I was talking about the zone of genius. Yeah, that zone of genius. When you're just in the zone and you just think, you just lose all track of time. You forget to eat. You know those days when you forget to eat? And there's so many days I just totally forget to eat. I think, shit, I've never had it. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening. I think, oh shit, I've never had anything to eat today. And that is the zone that's a brilliant place to be in. And probably you might have felt like that as well. Right, the last day is the best days. That's when you accept yourself and you're willing to accept that you are enough. And that's a hard place to get to. So you're doing all these things on kind of online, you're trying to help people and you're helping as many people as possible, and you're putting all your stuff out there, you're doing everything day in and day out, but you finally come to a place in your life where you go, do you know what? What I'm doing is enough. What I'm doing is good. What I'm doing is great to help people. And you accept yourself and you tell yourself, I am enough. But a lot of people don't get to that stage. A lot of people are still at the stage, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing that. I didn't help them enough. I didn't do that well enough. But when you get to the stage where you just think, I am enough, that is the best days. And it might be the hardest days to come by. Because if you're running an online business, if you're an entrepreneur, and which most of you are watching the show, you're always in competition with yourself. You're always striving to do better. You're always striving to do more. You're always striving to make more money. You're always striving to reach more money. But there comes a time when you think, I'm in the groove, I'm in the zone, I've got my zone of genius, I am enough. And when you get to that stage, things fall into place even more. People are attracted to you, or different people are attracted to you. You get asked to do kind of different things, or speaking things, or people want them to write for, or you want to write for you, and they want you to do other things for them, go on a webinar, do various things, and things just seem to fall into place when you realise and let go of the fact that you don't need to do all this stuff. You don't need to do more and more and more and more, that you are enough. And when you get to that place, that's when it kind of really kicks in and you just kind of shoot to the moon. Because what you're doing is what you love. And when you do what you love, things naturally fall into place. And that is kind of the best days. It's great getting validation, but you get to a stage where you don't need the validation. You know what you're doing is good. You know that you are enough. Now, I want to see a few hearts if you have had those days, or if you get those days. Give me a few hearts if you get those days, because these are really brilliant days to have. Yeah, I'm just looking. Marjana Zomic is saying, I am in that place, enough. Just say it. Maria Flynn, I am enough. Wow. That struck me just now, Stephen, for so many reasons. Brilliant, Maria. I'm so glad it did. And a lot of people don't get to that. A lot of people don't even think. They don't take a step back to say, do you know what? I've done freaking amazing over the last year. I've really done really good. And you just accept that. And it's hard. It's really hard to kind of accept yourself and say, what I've done is good. And I am enough. I am good enough. And when you get to that stage as well, it gives you the confidence to go forward and say, do you know all those ideas I had? I can actually run with these with confidence. Because all the other ideas you've had in the past, you kind of like them and you think that would be really good, but you don't have the confidence to go out and take action on those ideas. But when you get to the brilliant days where you say to yourself, I am enough, you can run with those ideas with confidence. And that is a big difference. So I get loads of ideas, and myself and Maria going to have a business meeting tomorrow. I've had a kind of another idea as well that I've kind of run by her, and I'm thinking I've got the confidence to do it because I know I'm good enough. And we're going to think about it. We're not going to definitely implement it, but we're going to think about it and talk about it, and kind of loads of ideas as well. Maria has the same kind of ideas as well, and she runs with it because she's got the confidence to go with it. I'm sure many of the other YDFers as well have got the confidence to kind of run with their ideas, and that's because they're at the stage of I am enough, I am good enough. Diana Caliker is saying, I would love to feel like that. It will come if you keep doing what you're doing, you keep love what you're doing, and you're helping people. That stage does come. Trust me, honestly, trust me, it does come. Claudia is saying, yes, I'm finally there. I'm at a place where I realise now I cannot follow my calling if I don't step in with both feet brilliant and embrace I am enough. I have surrendered, and it makes all the difference. Huge difference it makes. Yes, love that, I do. And so true, I don't need validation from others anymore. Very freeing it is, because when you let go of the validation, it's almost like going into a party and you really want to be liked. When you go into a party, you really want to be like, you kind of you overdo things, and you're kind of a wee bit in people's faces and you're a wee bit too pushy. But when you go into a party knowing that you're enough, people are naturally attracted to you. That is a big difference, because you've let go of needing validation. Although you still get validation from other people, you've let go of needing that validation. And that makes a huge, huge difference. And it's a big, big mindset shift as well. And when you get that mindset shift, it's hard to explain if you've not experienced it before. But when you do experience it, it's such a freeing emotion to have. And just go, I love what I'm doing. I'm enough. I don't need validation. Great to get it, but I don't need it. And you keep doing what you're doing, and you run with your ideas. Beautiful place to be in. Beautiful, beautiful place to be in. So give me a few hearts if all those kind of 4 days make sense to you. I want to see a few hearts just now, just to make sure that what I'm talking about is enough. Not really, I don't need validation, but it's just good to see that you're understanding what I'm talking about, and you probably felt what I'm talking about as well. I'll refresh the comments again. I don't know why the comments are sticking just now. Diane Calica, love listening to your voice, so inspired by your confidence across the web. Oh, thank you, Diane, I really appreciate that. Sometimes I don't feel confident. I come on the live shows and go, they're going to think I'm talking a lot of shite, because I have these ideas about the kind of live shows that I'm doing, and I think, is that the good way to explain it? Is that good way? But I just go on and talk and see what happens, because things normally come up. If you've got any questions as well, I don't know if you've got any questions. I forgot to look at the questions actually, so I'm just going to look at the questions. I see loads of hearts flying across there as well, which is brilliant. Who's the questions from? Question from Claudia DeMauro. How far in advance do you create your amazing graphics that you seem to have ongoing on Facebook? I use Canva. What program do you use? Claudia, you can schedule kind of images 6 months in advance on Facebook. So if you find yourself, you've got a lot of time, it's creating all the images as much as you can, and kind of schedule them. You could do it 6 months in advance, but I've got somebody who does this for me now. I have to be honest, I've got a team around me, so I create the kind of quotes. Somebody does the images or makes up the images for me, and somebody else schedules them. But I've got more than one page. I've got about 5 or 6 different pages that I kind of cross-post on and schedule on and get videos made for as well. So I've got an amazing team behind me now. But up until last year, I didn't have a team at all. I was doing everything myself and scheduled everything a week in advance. So on a Sunday, I would sit down, write all the quotes, make up the images for them, schedule them for the week ahead. And that's the way I would do it. The program I use is Adobe Fireworks. Fireworks is kind of, hardly anybody uses Fireworks now. Is kind of very similar to Photoshop, but it's not Photoshop, but it's very similar to it, and hardly anybody uses it, but I still love using it, and I've been using it for, I don't know, 15, 20 years or something, and they're still updating it, not so much now, but I just love using Fireworks. So I use fireworks to create all my images. Hope that helps, Claudia. Just wondering if anybody else has any questions about online business, social media, about what I'm doing, about your plans, anything at all. We'll take a few questions. We've got another, how long we've got left? We've got another kind of 5 minutes left. If you want, Claudia's saying, okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. Thank you for answering that. My pleasure. Elena, I'm going to try and pronounce this. Koviazina? Elena Koviazina. I don't know if I've pronounced that right at all. What an inspirational talk, Stephen, particularly at the end of the year. Well, again, no sound on my notebook, so I'm confined to gazing at your awesome still image. Oh, nightmare. Nightmare, Elena. Hopefully you can watch the replay after this. I'll just see if there's any more questions or comments. No, there's nothing coming in just now. Oh, we've got one coming up. One wee sec. I should have said that at the beginning that I'll be taking questions. I usually do. Just see if there's any more questions. Maria Flynn is saying, yes, that's it. I am enough has put into words where I am. No need for validation. I'm simply doing and feeling the heart lead. Love it. Love it. And that's what, because you're getting into a groove, because you're getting into that click, when you do what you love and you don't need that validation. You're just running with your ideas and you know what you're doing is going to work. And even if it doesn't, you don't get crestfallen. You just move on to the next thing. And that's the beautiful thing about being in that space, when you can accept yourself that you are enough. Because you are. You don't realise it yet. Or not all of you realise it yet. But trust me, you are enough. And what you've got to share with the world is more than enough. And I just want to kind of reiterate that. I've got another. Maria's asking, did your post yesterday get inspired by anything specific? No, Maria, what it was, I was just kind of thinking about kind of all the ups and downs of my business over the last kind of week, probably over the last couple of days ago. I was just thinking about all the ups and downs and just looking in the YDF group and kind of all the emotions that people felt kind of throughout the year, and just thinking back on people getting pissed off with Facebook, or they're really elated with what's happened on Facebook. And like, so Jonathan Wells, he started a page back in March this year, and he literally started a brand new page back on March the 17th, he said. And then he got up to, yesterday, he reached 500,000 followers on that page. And I thought, it's just brilliant, because he had that feeling of elation, and he'd already got a page that's got 500,000 as well, which is just amazing, because he was in the click, that click zone where he knew what he was doing was the right thing, and it was just working. So I was looking at people's emotions, kind of ups and downs in the YDF group. And it's great to kind of go over those kind of posts, on the Wednesday posts that we've got, Maria. When I'll need to respond to them as well. When on a Wednesday, for anybody that's not in the YDF group, on a Wednesday we do a kind of post whereby you share what you've done great for the week, or what's went well for you for the week as well. And everybody shares the kind of stories and that, and it's great to go over that as well. It's brilliant to see, and just from some of the questions. We've got Keith Wells in. Excellent, welcome Keith. Hope you had a great Christmas, and hopefully you're enjoying your time off as well, Keith. Okay, question from Keith Wells. If you're starting from scratch again, Steve, what one thing would you do first to grow your online business? Good question, Keith. Good question. Okay, here's what I would do. I would get the bases covered. I would get all the bases covered. So the basis for me is look at how I'm going to grow my platform. So I wouldn't start out necessarily with a product. I would make sure I knew exactly in my head what I was doing. To get people to make any money online, you need to have people following you. You need that, what I call distribution of attention. So before you get distribution of attention, you build out the platforms. The platforms might be different for you, but for me, it's Facebook. Get a following on Facebook. I know you're doing that, Keith, which is brilliant. YouTube, Instagram. 3 main things to kind of focus on. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Try and start building a platform on those platforms and trying to get followers on there. And the way you do that is engaging with other people, or sharing other people's stuff, or get share agreements and stuff like that as well. Making videos. Make sure you're doing something every day. and get content out. So for a couple of months, you're building up your platform, your Facebook page, you're doing the content, you're doing the videos, you're doing the Facebook Lives, you're building up all that so people get to know, like, and trust you. Once that happens, then you need to really start, or straight away, you need to start thinking about building your list up. So you need to start building a list. Everybody needs to start building a list. Really from the get-go, even when you're building out your platforms, start building your email list at the same time if you can. If you don't have a free offer, and you build your email list by giving away a free offer. If you don't have a free offer, there's thousands upon thousands of free offers that you can get or buy in. It's called PLR material that's in your niche. So you buy this PLR material and give away that as a free kind of opt-in if you've not written something yourself. Or give the best of your blogs, your blog posts, the best of Keith Wells, for example. You could give that as a free giveaway. That could be your sign up. So build up your email list. Communicate with your email list as well as much as possible. Every 2 days, I would recommend, if not every day. People get pissed off with you, writing to them every day, they just unsubscribe. It's cool. That's the people you don't want on your list anyway. Sounds harsh, but there you go. So build up your email list at the same time as you're building your platform, then start thinking about the product. So the way you start thinking about your product is start sending out an email to your email list and say, listen, I'm thinking about making a product, either an ebook, a membership site, or video kind of membership, or a service if you're offering a service. What do you think of this? Survey your email list so you get to know what they want, not necessarily what you want. So a lot of people make that mistake. They make a product thinking, oh, people are going to love this. And I've made that mistake loads of times in the past, trust me, more times than I care to remember. And it doesn't work. It's not about what you want, it's about what the people want that you can give them because you've got the knowledge to give them. That sounded dead fast when I was talking there. So yeah, that's what I would do, Keith. I'll definitely build out the platform. What I did before is I was doing everything haphazardly. And it wasn't all in coordination. So I don't know if that helps or not, Keith. I hope it does. I hope it does. Question from Sandra Crabward. Do you feel you should have a great lawyer or accountant? No. I've not got a lawyer. I've definitely not got a lawyer. Obviously, you need to have some legal counselling if you're, depending on what service you're offering. If you're offering a hands-on service, for example, you need to get a lawyer for that, just to make sure your paperwork's all in place. An accountant, you need a good accountant. Accounts just do my head in. I've just done mine for the end of the year. I've got a program to do it on, but it still does my head in. But I still need to send all the details to the accountant, who sends it back to the tax office and stuff like that. I hate all the taxes and stuff like that. I like doing accounting myself, and the program that I've got is called Xero.com, Xero.com. That's how I do my accounting, but I still have to send it over to an accountant to do it. But I've not got a lawyer for that. But I guess I'm going to have to look at that more in depth kind of later on as a kind of business grows. And it's grown just now, and I should really look at that. But I've not felt the need just now. I hope that helps, Sandra. Question from Carissa Jane Samantha Turtle. Newbie here. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Angie Rowe, who's watching too. Hi to all in here. What's the most asked question you've had, Stephen? Oh, the most asked question I've had. How to make money online. Or how to make money with a Facebook page. That's probably the most asked question. And it's probably the wrong question to ask. The right question, I would turn that around and say, how do I help more people? When you help more people, you get an idea of what more people want. When you get loads, I love questions coming in from people. So when I get loads of questions, I kind of get an idea of what people need and what people want, and I can make products around that. So I've made modules in the YDF program. I've created kind of separate programs based on what people have asked me, because so many people have asked me about Facebook Live, about making money online, or making money from a Facebook page, or making videos. That's how I kind of build up the program as well. So I hope that helps, Carissa. Just go back to see what time we're on just now. We have been on for 32 minutes. So, Stephen Webb, any online tools you use to organise your time? I've got Google Calendar. Definitely need that. That is a must. cannot do without Google Calendar, and I set the notifications 10 minutes before I'm due to do something. So this morning I had a meeting, a business meeting this morning with a good friend, and we're doing business together for something. I forgot all about it because I was back into work mode again, and I get this notification up on my laptop and on my phone as well, just to say in 10 minutes time you've got a meeting with such and such, and I would have forgotten all about it. So Google Calendar really works for me. We also use a program called The Pulse, and that's kind of like a list of things that we have to do, although I've not used it as much as I did at the beginning. So to organise the time, I would definitely say Google Calendar would be the best thing that I've got just now. The other thing you do with organising your time is get into a routine. If you can get into a routine of doing things, so for example, when you first get up, you do your own thing, you do your meditation, you kind of have a cup of coffee or whatever you do, and then in your work routine, make sure you have routines for your work. So for you, it might be making image quotes or writing quotes in the morning, creating them an hour after, creating the image quotes an hour after, scheduling them, and that's your first hour of the morning. Your second hour is about promoting in Facebook groups or kind of writing a blog post or something. If you have a routine going, particularly if you're not that well, if you can't kind of manage your time, it's not about managing time, it's about managing distractions. If you can manage your distractions, the time takes care of itself. So that's a good thing as well, is think about it that way as well. It's not about managing time, because you can't really manage time if you think about it, but you can manage your distractions. And the distraction, ironically enough, is Facebook. Facebook can be a distraction. Even if you're building up a business on Facebook, it can be a distraction at the same time. So that's one big thing I would say, Stephen. But there's a ton of things we could talk about there. That's probably for another live show. I hope that helps, Stephen. I've seen that question already. I've seen that. I don't know if there's any more. I think that's it for today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there for just now. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to be here tomorrow with your questions or your Q&A. It's going to be a Q&A tomorrow. So get your questions kind of lined up. Anything at all about business, about kind of social media, about me, about you, about your ideas, anything whatsoever. I'll put another kind of link up tomorrow for you, just to so you can get a reminder. So I'll put another wee reminder up tomorrow for you, because that seems to work well when you're doing the Facebook Lives. Claudia, one last question. Claudia, how did you go about hiring an assistant, a team? Good question again. So this will be the last question, because I like this question. Well, not because I like it, but anyway, the way I done it is when I got the program together, the Your Digital Formula program, I was looking at people in the group and how they were interacting with people. So this is how I met, how I met Maria Flynn. This is how Maria Flynn became the operations. She's the operations manager for the whole of YDF. Everything that happens at Your Digital Formula, Maria has a hand in. So she's the operations manager. So at first I was seeing how she was interacting with the group and people in the group, and she was telling people to jump on a Skype call with them so she could help them out, not looking for anything in return, which totally works with my philosophy. The more people you help, the more things you want in life as well. And she was doing that without kind of looking for anything in return, just helping out people, because she really got into the program, really started working it. And then I asked her to be the community manager for the YDF group, because it was getting bigger. And then I realised the more I spoke to her, she was just amazing at kind of organising things and kind of ideas, and we kind of bounced ideas off each other, and she would kind of be honest with me and open. And that's how I kind of found Maria Flynn as well. So it's about working with people that you know as well. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say friends, although Maria has become a good friend now. She wasn't at the beginning. She was just somebody who bought my program. She was a member of YDF, but she was just doing amazing. And then she became a friend after that. And so it's the same with the rest of my team as well. I've seen how people worked, or they've kind of written to me, sent me samples, and done it that way. So I hope that helps, Claudia. I'd like to kind of see people in action before I would hire anybody. I wouldn't hire anybody cold. I've tried it in the past using Upwork or freelancer.com. It just doesn't work. But when you build up a kind of wee relationship there, at the very beginning, and you get to see how their mind works and how they kind of act with other people as well. It's a brilliant way to bring that person into the team as well. So I hope that helps. So with that, I'm going to love you and leave you and say, I hope you have a brilliant day, whatever you're doing. I'm going to go over and Change Your Thoughts Today show in about 40 minutes. So I might see you there as well. And namaste. Take care. Bye now.